Our old friend John Nichols on the line with us, Washington correspondent for The Nation. The website, thenation.com, his new article, Who Backs the TPP and a NAFTA on Steroids? Well, who do you think it might be? John, welcome back.
It is good to be with you, Tom.
It is good to be with you, too. So, tell me, let's see. First of all, who opposes NAFTA on steroids, the TPP, Actually, I got an email this morning from a Tea Party group, a fundraising email from a Tea Party group calling this Obama trade.
Oh, yeah. No, look, this is the interesting thing. There are real transpartisan coalitions taking shape here.
Yeah, I mean, this was Judson Phillips, Tea Party Nation. Yeah. He's a guest on our show regularly.
He's mind-blowing what's going on in the TPP.
Yeah.
You are seeing real coalitions of the honest right-wingers, the honest left-wingers, a lot of centrists who are just in touch with their districts, in touch with grassroots America, and know that this free trade approach doesn't work. It has been so dysfunctional, and you talk about it all the time on your show. So here's the important thing as we head toward President Obama's State of the Union address. Almost every major player in President Obama's coalition is against fast track and TPP. The labor movement, overwhelmingly opposed, for all sorts of practical reasons. You've explained that well over many years. The environmental movement, groups like the Sierra Club, Friends of the Earth, overwhelmingly, strongly opposed. Progressive farm groups like the National Farmers Union, Family Farm Defenders, strongly opposed, overwhelmingly so. And so where does the president turn, if he should choose in his State of the Union address tomorrow night to call for fast track, call for going forward on the TPP? Where are his allies? Well, the unsettling thing, and this is something we write about in this piece, is that the strong support for the TPP isn't coming from the honest right or the honest left. It's coming from corporations, from corporate-tied and corporate-dominated groups. And the one group that has a real network in states across this country that is 100% on board for the TPP and is in fact organizing on behalf of it is ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council.
Incredible. Founded by Paul Weyrich, or co-founded by Paul Weyrich, the guy who said, I don't want everybody to vote. In fact, leverage in the elections goes up as the number of voters goes down. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And ALEC, over the last 40 years, has been at the absolute center of efforts to remake our politics and our governance in a reflection of the demands of corporate power. And this is much talked about in areas like voting rights, where people got very angry with ALEC for pushing voter ID laws and a host of other anti-democratic initiatives.
Right.
It's very, very evident on issues, criminal justice issues, and the whole stand your gun,
shoot first laws.
Yeah. But ALEC's core commitments have always been in the area of economics.
Yep.
And one of the things that ALEC will be doing, in fact, that they are doing now, is asking legislators across the country to develop and pass model resolutions. They literally have a resolution where you just fill in the name of your state that argues strongly for the Trans-Pacific Partnership. This is a big deal, Tom, because if indeed the president decides to go forward with a major fast-track push, there will come a point where the media, major media, will be saying, well, who's for this? Who's against this? At this point, overwhelmingly, grassroots groups are going to be passionately opposed to it. But part of the fantasy that there is support for this sort of free trade will lie in those efforts to get governors and state legislatures to beg Congress to go forward.
Right.
And this is, if you
43 states have passed resolutions. Yeah, I can see it all now. John, this all points back once again to the cancer at the core of American politics. 38 years ago this week, the United States Supreme Court in the Buckley case, Buckley versus Vallejo, said that money is actually protected by the First Amendment, even though the word money does not appear in the First Amendment. And then, 4 years ago last week, they amplified that much larger and louder with Citizens United, but it cemented it into place. But it was first proposed 38 years ago in Buckley. Not first proposed. It was really said out loud in a big way. And I mean, we can take this all the way back to 1815, but this is this. We no longer have a constitutionally limited democratic republic, representative democratic republic. We have a constitutional monarchy. We've got nine people, men and women on the Supreme Court, who, with no constitutional authority whatsoever, establish policy or strike down laws when the opposite of what Article 3, Section 2 says, which is that Congress shall have the power to regulate the Supreme Court. Instead, they do it the other way around. And they have come up with this doctrine out of thin air, clear, whole cloth, that money is somehow protected by the First Amendment, something that no legislature, no state legislature, no federal legislature has ever proposed, and no candidate for president of the United States or sitting president of the United States, with a single exception of Mitt Romney, has ever endorsed. And I know you did a great roundup piece on this the other day, although you missed MoveToAmend.org, which I think is the most effective group out there working in this area.
I did. I think if I didn't have them in, I should have, for sure.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously a group that I've tried to highlight, along with Free Speech for People and lots of other good groups.
Yeah. But this is
the heart of the matter here.
I mean, this is the core of the whole thing. This is the cancer at the bottom of our politics, is the Supreme Court declaring that the corporations are protected by the 14th Amendment and that money is protected by the First Amendment, and that the founders have got to be rolling in their graves, and that's bringing us all this stuff.
Well, it is exactly, and I mean, this goes to the heart of the matter, Tom. The founders, at their wisest, were concerned about factions, and when they talked about factions, it isn't what we understand as a faction: a Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative group of people come together, hopefully based on their values and their ideals. What they were concerned about was a small group of very, very powerful people getting together to manipulate the government, and to manipulate the government in their own interest rather than the interest of the country.
Yeah, That's
where we've ended up.
Yeah, I am editing a book on that very topic right now. It was published 40 years ago by Dan Sisson, who teaches history out in Washington State, a professor of history. And it's called The Revolution of 1800, and we're bringing it back into print, and Dan and I have been working on it for the last year. And it's all about, I mean, that's what that election was all about. And and Jefferson said this was a true revolution, and it really was. And it was about trying to take down faction, although it didn't ultimately work out that way. But yeah, the founders' understanding of faction was, Alec, this is...
It's definitional.
Yeah. So anyhow, is anybody? I mean, we know Move to Amend and all these other great groups are trying to get money out of politics, roll back the Supreme Court by amending the Constitution. Is there anybody who's pushing back on NAFTA in an organized fashion?
On these trade issues in general?
I'm sorry, TPP. Yeah.
No, you're right. Yes, the fact of the matter is that at this point, it is safe to say that we've got the most effective pushback that we've seen on one of these trade fights. Because at the very earliest stages, you have labor, environmental, farm, democracy, human rights groups coming together
and Tea Party groups
on fast track.
And Tea Party groups.
Yeah, and so there's things happening, but this is why it's so important to send up the alarm bells now on what money is doing,
right?
What power is trying to do, because frankly, that's the end of the equation.
Right.
We can expose what the money power is up to. I think we can stop these.
I think you're right. John Nichols, brilliant as always. TheNation.com. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Tom.